It's been a year since we last talked about fixed coins, and that won't change. It looks like stable coins will soon be an official part of the financial system. This means that crypto companies like Ripple will also be important parts of the financial system, using tools like the XRP ledger and even XRP, since XRP powers the ledger. So this is really exciting because this is something we've been thinking about and debating about for years. This day, it's finally coming true. First, let's look at this post from Ripple. It says that stable coins will become an important part of the payment system. Now is the time to update things. This is from Jack McDonald, who is the SVP of Safe Coins at Ripple, and this is because of the most recent study from Keyrock Trading and Bitso, which talks about how stable coins like ROUSD will power $1 trillion in payments. Now we have the full breakdown from Keyrock. I'm not going to go over everything here because, as I said, there's a lot that basically goes over. The main thing I want to talk about is the difference between the M2 supply and the steady coin supply. With the M2 stock, the bear case, the base case, and the bull case for stable coins, they now have a full picture. The worst thing that could happen is that 2.6% of the M2 stock, or 0.75 trillion, will be lost by 2030. The base case is $1.55 trillion, which is 5.19% of the M2 supply. The bull case is $3 trillion, which is 10.4% of the M2 supply. At the moment, we have 1.1% of the world's M2 stock. That means that this market for stablecoins is going to grow like crazy, which is great news for those who make stablecoins. Some things are broken down here. The bearer case is that of cautious growth due to slower usage, continued steady growth of stablecoins that bridge the payment stack and increase their use in B2B, P2P, and point-of-sale payment. And side, this seems like it will be the base case, right? In the worst case, 5.2%, which is about 1.5 trillion. Then the use of stable coins grows quickly, freeing up trillions of dollars worth of value through faster, cheaper payments and a tighter connection to the world's financial system. It's also possible for this to happen. This could happen for sure, especially since steady coins are becoming so popular right now. Now, I don't want to go over everything else because, once more, there is so much to talk about. But I did want to bring this up because, once more, the use and growth of safe coins are only going to speed up. One thing that stands out to me is that TradFi is speeding up the use of stable coins and even getting involved in the stablecoin market in a big way because they don't want to fall behind. I think Citi is one of the newest ones. And this is Justin. Because of the new US law, Citigroup is looking into safe coin custody payments and crypto ETF services, allowing more people to use digital goods. I also said that this is happening while most people still don't believe that crypto is the future of money. Again, this is because when you talk to people who aren't into crypto, they think badly of you right away. They either think of FTX, Luna, joke coins, and other silly things, or they just think it's money that was made up. They believe it's not true. They don't get the room. When you bring up crypto, the first thing they usually say is Bitcoin. They don't even know what XRP is. What do they know about stablecoins and how they are becoming a bigger part of the banking system? They don't even know about these utility-based projects. Now, David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, wrote a great post about what's going on. He also said that more and more companies in the payments and stablecoin space are launching their own blockchains. T makes sense to me as a clear sign that the market sees blockchain as a key part of financial infrastructure. This is something we've believed in for over 13 years and have been working to achieve on. Because it's been used in real life, updated, and made better for more than 10 years, the XRP ledger has real transactions, traction, and institutional support. Some blockchains are made with permission validator sets that are run by a single person or a small group of people. This can help with compliance and control in some closed network situations, but it also limits the network's reach, durability, and the people who can help protect and grow it. People always argue about whether something should be decentralized or centralized. There isn't a single answer that works for all crypto uses, and the terms have changed over the years. The XRP ledger is open to everyone and doesn't need permission to use. However, there are features that allow people to be granted permission for certain uses that are controlled. This open base makes it flexible, able to work with other systems, and ready to be an important part of the world's financial system, linking assets, markets, and people without any problems across countries. The XRP ledger was made so that fees, which are barely more than a cent, stay low and stable. You can pay for any issued asset directly with XRP instead of having to buy a separate gas token. This saves you the trouble and hidden cost of having to buy another token just to trade. XRP has no counterparties and can be used by anyone. It is a bridge asset that can be used for payment, settlement, and funding. XRP is used and burned in every transaction on the XRP ledger. It's good to see that some newer chains are using design choices that have been a part of the XRP ledger for a long time, like deterministic finality and consensus methods based on proof of authority. It shows that more and more people in the business agree on how important it is for financial applications to have predictable, reliable settlement that doesn't require expensive VA. Lidation. We're looking forward to the next round of improvements to the XRP ledger, which will add more programming options, compliance-grade features, and more liquidity for business use. Welcome to the party to those who are just starting out. The dark tent is getting bigger. The reason we always say that XRP is much bigger than people want to accept is because of this. There's been talk about it in the XRP community for a long time. If you listen to the people who made XRP, they'll tell you that it was always part of the plan. We say that because XRP has grown into one of the biggest names in the space over the past 13 years, and Ripple as a company has become one of the most successful and important ones in making safe coins and payments work on-chain. This is why we always say that XRP and Ripple will be 10 times bigger than they are now, if not 100 times bigger. This is because adoption is not going to slow down. Crypto will not be pushed to the sidelines from now on. Things are not going to slow down. They are going to speed up even more. Adoption is going to get hotter and hotter. This is only the beginning. The thing that makes this even stranger is what we're hearing from this admin. Trump said not long ago that the current banking system is flawed and that crypto will fix it. It's a great time to be living. But a lot of people say, oh, Bitcoin fixes this. Bitcoin is what he's talking about. Bitcoin is what he's talking about. Pay close attention to this. A lot of people in the US don't know that the technical foundation of the banking system is decades, if not decades, out of date. You already know that. Paul and others are making things right, but sending and receiving money costs a lot and can take days or even weeks to clear. With this plan, the whole old system can be brought into the 21st century by using the latest cryptography technology. Who would have thought that 2 years later we would still be saying that? So, yeah, listen, this is crazy, right? They want to get into crypto. They want to use cryptocurrencies. What's up with our banking system? It doesn't make any sense to be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you've been a customer of the same bank for 25 years and want to borrow money or buy a house, it will take them 120 days to look over your Know Your Customer report before they'll give you their money. Our bank system doesn't work right. Then the same banking system went after 50% of Americans because they wore hats that said, "Make America Great Again." The way money works needs to change. The way money works will change. The economy will be different after world liberty. I really couldn't be more proud. We began this business a long time before my dad did, elected a long time before he won, and definitely a long time before he got back into politics. Yes, this is exactly why crypto is going to change the whole banking system. This is also why this is exactly what Ripple has been talking about for 13 years when we hear these talks. This is the main reason we look at XRP. That's why we check out Ripple. ROUSD is what we look at. We check out what Ripple has been up to. Ripple is a company based in the US. Okay, they used the XRP platform to connect years ago. Again, when we think about the people who work at Ripple, they made the XRP system. Most of them, like David Schwartz, were the first people to work on XRP and the XRP ledger. When they made them, they thought, listen, this is going to be the future of the financial system. The way money goes around the world is going to change a lot. This is what Ripple meant when they talked about the Internet of Value a long time ago. Stable coins have made it possible for this to happen. There is a link between Ripple and the United States that we can't think of by accident. For a long time, Ripple has worked with the US even before this, administration took office. We start in April 2024. This picture has been shared on the channel many times already. It was put up by Subjective Views. They are sitting next to Nellie Liang from the US Department of the Treasury. They are Ripple, Stellar, and a few other players in the market. This was said at a roundtable talk about the technical and legal needs to improve the old features of central bank money, looking at what this might mean for consumers, investors, and businesses. What they also talked about was how they wanted to combine CBDC's tokenization and stablecoins in the long run into the larger US financial environment, which could be good for economic growth and stability. Now, this manager is telling us, hey, guess what? It doesn't work right. It needs to be fixed. Crypto is the main thing that can fix all of these issues, and we should just take a look at some of these big events that Ripple has been to. Also, this isn't the only meeting. If we go back a few years, say to the years 2017, 2016, 2018,